Utah's new prison cost taxpayers more than $1 billion, yet a scathing new audit shows the new facility has been unsafe and still isn't being used as intended.
Our investigative team has been asking questions about safety and staffing. And tonight, after being granted unprecedented access, KSL investigator Daniela Rivera takes us inside this new prison with a look at what is being done to fix it and its new problems.
I've always wanted to be a part of law enforcement.
Outside of Utah, Miranisa Folk says she was discouraged from applying.
Because I'm a woman and I'm small.
Here in Utah, she decided to go for it. Folk now plays a critical role in keeping Utah's new prison functioning.
It is draining, it is tiring.
Wearing multiple hats and picking up mandatory overtime shifts.
We're patiently waiting for more staff to come in. Until then, we just have to do what we can and keep our buildings running.
Buildings that require more staff to run properly than the old Draper prison.
She's getting out soon, too.
That's because Utah's new $1 billion facility was designed and built around what's called a direct supervision model. It places guards inside the living areas and others in a control room above, like this one. But some buildings and cells are sitting empty.
So this is the women's maximum security unit. It is currently not occupied due to staffing right now.
A scathing legislative audit found despite knowing about a recruitment and retention problem years in advance, prior corrections administrators failed to plan accordingly.
This is a problem that they knew about back in 2014.
Here, Deputy Auditor General Brian Dean shares those findings with lawmakers.
Continued operating the same way, hoping for a different result.
The KSL investigators uncovered and exposed several incidents of violence at the old Draper prison in 2022. Corrections officials told us then they hoped the new facility's layout would help cut down on violence. But data shows assaults on staff spiked following the move to the new prison that same year. In one incident, Dean tells lawmakers an inmate attacked a guard working in an area alone.
This assault, when it became almost life-threatening, the officer was handcuffed, and it was clearly visible on cameras.
But no officer was there to see it and help him. An example, auditors say, of how the direct supervision model becomes dangerous when there's not enough people to carry it out properly.
Because the design in and of itself can work with adequate staffing.
On the day our cameras filmed in this men's unit, officers and inmates interacted casually.
But then you get a taste of freedom by getting out, and you realize everything you're missing when you come back.
We absolutely need to continue to recruit people, retain them, and build a culture that people want to stay here.
Deputy Executive Director Jared Garcia sat down with the KSL investigators at the new prison to share what the new administration is doing to address safety and staffing concerns.
We're not looking backwards, we're looking forwards.
He's careful not to disparage prior leadership, but says they're doing things differently now, and the data proves it's working. Assaults on staff now trending down.
I would say from the point where the audit occurred to where we are today, there is a night and day difference.
He points to the department's staffing numbers. They ended 2021 down 64 officers overall. The end of 2022 was worse, down 66 in total. But the end of 2023, a huge increase, up a total of 160 officers.
If an incident were to happen and we couldn't get to our radios in time.
Corrections officials credit a significant boost in funding from the legislature last year, which increased starting pay from just over $20 an hour to now over $28. And a culture shift that Garcia says starts at the top, with leaders willing to innovate and listen to proposed solutions from employees.
There was potentially a culture here where those ideas would get shut down in the past, and we're quite the opposite. We're encouraging those to get passed up to us.
Garcia says they're still not able to properly implement direct supervision throughout the new prison. They're working with what he called a modified version, which auditors note does carry greater risk.
Do you worry about corrections officers and their safety given the current staffing?
100%. As a leader in law enforcement, that's always been my concern.
Learning to run a new facility with its own new problems has been challenging for officers like Folk.
Everything is completely different from Draper to here.
But she says she loves her job.
I come in with a positive attitude every day, and a positive attitude is just as infectious as a negative one.
And she looks forward to the day the work is shared among a full staff. And that day can't come soon enough for officials, but Garcia says they are hiring regularly now and they plan to be fully staffed at some point in 2025. Mike and Deanie.
Let's hope so. Pretty eye-opening there. Danny, thank you.